Alright everyone, there's a link in the description to a little ditty there. It's basically audio of Joe Biden for 8 seconds from Shu, and I think he's completely lost it. Because I don't think this is an actual campaign ad. I think this is just a quick video of Biden with the audio. But the fact that you'd have a candidate, let alone a front runner, that makes it more surreal, who would say something like this, who would think it was good strategy, number one, without throwing the race, I suppose, being the other possibility. But would say it in the first place as the front runner, number two. It boggles the mind. It's like the dude's fried. He doesn't understand what's going on, I think, and he thinks that this is actually a good campaign slogan. And basically what it is, if you like what you see, vote for me, otherwise vote for the other guy. And he stumbles over his words in the first 3 seconds, which is also funny. In this case, I'm running for president of the United States, says Joe. He managed to remember what he was running for, so it was a good day for him, I suppose, mentally. Does he know where he is? Quiz him randomly. People need to start doing this. A campaign stops with Joe Biden. Whip out your iPhone and ask him what state he's in or what year it is. It might make him angry, in which case he'll do what he did with that other girl where she asked him how many genders there were and he said at least 3 and then got angry and basically said don't fuck with me or something. That was interesting. He didn't lose any support, by the way, for doing that, actually. I think he garnered a little bit of extra support. Because, at least he's not taking shit, even if he's a crazy old man. Am I allowed to say that, by the way, on YouTube now? I know ageism is a problem now on YouTube, so you're not allowed to criticize people too much based on that. I'm not criticizing him based on his age. I'm criticizing him based on his mental aptitude being basically single-digit at this point. His IQ is melting away in a haze of Alzheimer's. It's not a pretty sight. But yeah, who's putting him up to this? And part of me thinks, when he says shit like this, obviously it's wrong for a candidate to do this if they want people to actually vote for them, to be taken seriously. Part of me believes that, number one, maybe he's mocking the rest of the Dem field. He's like, look, I've already been crowned the nominee anyway, so fuck off, I can say what I want. That's one possibility. Or, number two, maybe he's trying to throw the race. Maybe he got in, he thought, I'm going to be able to do this, it's wonderful. Then he got tired, on the campaign trail. He's like, I can't do this anymore. But he's too proud, he's too manly man, so he doesn't want to drop out. And it'd be weird if the front runner drops out of the field, that it's obviously not due to their polling. It's not due to the voting results. What's it due to, then? It's obviously some sort of medical issue in his case. I don't think he wants that to be how he's remembered. His sort of last hurrah ended in a not a blaze of glory, but just a blaze, basically, with him dropping out in an ignominious fashion. I don't think that's what he wants. So maybe he's trying to throw it. He's just trying to convince people to stop supporting him. So basically, fuck it. Is he going to come out tomorrow and do, the N-word show or something? He's going to have a puppet show. Live on YouTube. You're going to go to Joe Biden's website, and there'll be an embedded YouTube player. And it'll be 30-minute countdown, and people will be like, oh, there's something, that Joe Biden's going to make an announcement. Maybe he's got, a potential running mate or something. He's got something to announce, some major policy. He's got Trump's tax returns. And then the whole nation is tuned in, you've got 10 4chan shitposting threads and a live Reddit updates and stuff. And it's just Joe Biden. He's sitting there totally naked. He's got blackface on, and he just starts, chanting rap lyrics in a deadpan voice and then, beating off. That would be, legendary, and I hope that something like that happens, even though it won't. I keep hoping something like that will happen within politics. It's the ultimate political happening. That way, the analysis would definitely be balls to the wall. It'd be hilarious. And then you'd get banned for re-uploading it to YouTube. Joe Biden goes crazy and whacks off, to the Pointer Sisters. Something a little bit more to his era. And with him, I think it would be more like some 50s stand, Bing Crosby or music would be more his bag. The dude's mind is completely fucking gone. He's completely lost it. The problem with this, let me look at this optically. Now, when I'm talking about someone who's obviously got dementia, I'm obviously discussing political strategy goes out the window at that point. I'm convinced he has Alzheimer's at this point. From a strategic standpoint, though, putting out a statement that's if you like what you see, vote for me, otherwise vote for the other guy. Very, very few people in politics have high approval. For the most part, people that are on the fence at this point, they don't like Joe Biden. If they end up voting for Joe Biden as nominee, it'll be because they're holding their nose and they dislike Trump more. it's not going to be because they like the dude. Otherwise, they wouldn't be fence sitters. They'd already be fucking supporting him. Most of the Democrats don't like Joe Biden. He's essentially giving everyone permission, hey, if you don't like me, which is 90% of the U.S. population, fucking get off the campaign bus and just support my opponent. The problem is, who's that opponent most likely to be? It's most likely to be Donald Trump. Donald Trump is going to turn that particular audio clip into an ad, I guarantee it, if Biden becomes the nominee. Now, I think that Trump hopes that Biden is the nominee. I don't think Biden would do any worse than anyone else, but I think it would be more amusing for Trump to run against someone who is more easily antagonized. Look, the dude gets angry at college kids for asking him how many genders there are, and then asking him to elaborate, and says basically, fuck off. He gets angry easily. He's got a short fuse, a bad temper. He's not strategically minded. He's always been a gaffe master, and now he's got dementia to boot. And let's be clear, he is demented. Joe Biden has dementia. There's no question in my mind. Any sane person looking at the things that he says and the way that he conducts himself would come to the same conclusion. If you had an elderly relative in their mid-70s begin to act the way he does after being maybe a bit befuddled generally, like a gaffe master, they're a bit clumsy or something, but they're just a lot more clumsy now. They're a lot more forgetful. They're more confused. They've got more fucking problems, and they're saying weird shit that doesn't even make sense. Here you've got someone, he's been in politics since the 70s, he's been the VP, he's been a 2-time presidential candidate. It's not like this is an unintelligent dude. It's not like it's a dude without political strategic sense. Of course he has that. He's maneuvered his way through politics most of his adult life. So when he begins to do such things that are clearly not good from a strategic standpoint, that can't be ascribed to just being a has-been and an old man, because, it seemed like he was with it before. He was doing okay. Few years ago, 2 or 3, he seemed like normal Biden, basically. Just, he's a little bit old, a little bit confused, but that's Joe Biden. He's different now. If your 75-year-old relative starts acting markedly different, what do you think first? Do you think, oh, well, it's just they're tired from campaigning for the presidency? No, you probably think dementia. Well, if it were anybody else, their boss would probably get a little bit upset. Who's Joe Biden's boss if he wins? It's the American people. Who's his boss till then? The Democratic voters. Maybe they should find somebody else to nominate. But I mean, by all means, be my guest and nominate Joe Biden, and we'll see what happens. I think he would lose in a spectacular fashion. I think he'll lose states that are more reliably blue than Michigan and Pennsylvania and these others that Hillary Clinton hemorrhaged. Hillary Clinton did bad enough. You want to see the popular vote go for Trump, you nominate Joe Biden. Be funny to see who his VP pick would be, too. That's about all. Peace out.